In the heat of June 1757, by the banks of the Bhagirathi River, a battle was fought that would change the destiny of India. This was the Battle of Plassey, a seemingly small clash that echoed through the centuries. Imagine the scene: mango groves and rice paddies, the humid air thick with tension. Not far from the modern city of Kolkata, two forces prepared for a confrontation that would decide the fate of a subcontinent. On one side stood the mighty army of Siraj-ud-Daulah, the young Nawab of Bengal. His banners flew high, his elephants and cavalry a testament to the wealth and power of Mughal Bengal. On the other, a much smaller force, the soldiers of the British East India Company. These were not the rulers of Britain, mind you, but merchants, adventurers, backed by their own private army. Why were they here, these traders from a distant land facing an army many times their size? It all began with trade, with the East India Company's growing ambition. Granted permission to trade by the Mughal emperors, the company's greed soon outstripped its charter. They began to fortify their trading post, acting more like rulers than merchants, and interfering in local politics to their advantage. This high-handedness did not sit well with the Nawab, who saw his authority challenged. When diplomacy failed, both sides prepared for war, their armies marching towards an uncertain fate by the mango groves of Plassey. Little did they know the outcome of this battle would determine not just the fate of Bengal, but the future of India itself. Siraj-ud-Daulah, the Nawab of Bengal, was a young ruler who inherited a kingdom already under the shadow of the East India Company. Imagine him, adorned in silks and jewels, a ruler in the Mughal tradition, accustomed to wielding absolute power. He was known for his quick temper, but also for his courage and sense of justice. The Nawab saw the East India Company's growing influence as a threat to his sovereignty, a danger to the very fabric of Mughal rule. On the other side stood Robert Clive, a figure shrouded in controversy, a man of ambition and ruthlessness. He was not a seasoned general, but a clerk who rose through the ranks of the East India Company through sheer grit and cunning. Clive was the embodiment of the company's ambition, a man driven by profit and power, willing to bend the rules to achieve his goals. The East India Company, under Clive's command, was a force unlike any other in India. Imagine their disciplined ranks of red-coated soldiers, armed with muskets and cannons, a stark contrast to the Nawab's vast but less organized army. They were fewer in number, but made up for it with superior firepower and cunning strategy. The clash between Siraj-ud-Daulah and Robert Clive was not just a battle of armies, but a clash of two worlds: the old world of Mughal India, steeped in tradition and grandeur, and the new world of European colonialism, driven by commerce and conquest. It was a clash that would decide the fate of millions and shape the destiny of a subcontinent. The seeds of the conflict were sown long before the first shot was fired at Plassey. The East India Company, initially welcomed as traders, had gradually expanded their influence, exploiting the weaknesses of the Mughal Empire. Imagine the resentment simmering amongst the local populace as they witnessed the company's growing power. Their once free trade now subject to heavy taxes and regulations. The company's fortifications and military build-up alarmed Siraj-ud-Daulah, who rightly saw it as a direct challenge to his authority. He ordered them to stop, to dismantle their forts and cease their meddling in Bengal's affairs. But the company, drunk on power and ambition, ignored his orders. The flashpoint came when the company, without permission, captured the French fort of Chandernagore, further fueling Siraj's suspicions. He saw this as a blatant act of aggression, a sign that the company would stop at nothing to gain control. The Nawab responded by seizing the company's trading post at Calcutta, imprisoning several British men and women in the infamous Black Hole incident. This act, whether intentional cruelty or tragic mismanagement, further inflamed tensions. The company, using the Black Hole incident as propaganda, used it to justify their own aggression, painting Siraj-ud-Daulah as a tyrant who needed to be overthrown. The stage was set for a decisive confrontation, a battle for the soul of Bengal.